Hey there, Aquarius. Welcome to your reading for the week of May 17th. This week, we are going to just jump right in here once I get this shuffled. We're going to do just like a regular old free-flowing type of reading here, and we're just going to see what comes up for you here, Aquarius, in your reading here, and make sure to watch your sun, moon, and rising for a full picture of what is going on for you at this time. But Aquarius, let's see what is going on for you here. I'm getting the word mistake popping into my head as just right off the bat here. It's actually a pretty good reading. It's an interesting reading as well. I would say I feel like it's going to get more interesting as we move along here. But it's like you have it looks almost like a choice. You go from the World to the Devil to the Ten of Cups, then to the Knight of Pentacles to the Devil to the King of Wands here. It's like it's almost like the choice between something that will pull you out of a comfort zone, right? To the World, Devil, and the Ten of Cups, to something. I'm getting the word establishment here on the Knight of Pentacles to the Devil to the King of Wands. So it's almost like you could have a choice between two people, or, might not even be two people with the World and the Ten of Cups here. It's almost like a risk. I feel like that's why the Devil is showing up here, Aquarius. It's almost saying, like, you could be taking a risk to leave an established relationship here with a fire sign or an earth sign in this middle row. And so you could be leaving this person and dating and choosing to date. It's a pretty clear story, is what I'm going to say to you. Or you could be kind of risking it and deciding to. You could be deciding to risk it, right? Or you could be staying stuck here. So, I would say it's almost like you're trying to not make a mistake. It's almost like you're trying to avoid creating a disaster in your life. Let's see where this goes. You start off with this love card here, and so I feel like there is or was love in a situation here, because you have the World, Two of Cups, and Knight of Pentacles here. So someone was too cautious. Someone wasn't moving forward fast enough, I feel, with that Knight of Pentacles here. But it's almost like someone saw this as a victory. So some of you, it's kind of like a tricky, I feel like you're in a sticky wicket here, Aquarius. I'm not going to lie to you, because I feel for some of you, it's like you were with a person here, and it's like you thought this was going to be everything. I feel like it still has potential to be everything, especially if you're still, with a person here. It has the potential to be something very great, but I just don't understand that. We're going to have to clarify this middle row, because I just don't understand what the problem is here. If I'm being honest with you, I'm a little bit confused by this situation. It could just be you're confused. Maybe some of you have been going round and round and round in your head too much about a love situation here, and it's like too much thinking is getting in the way of like love, or allowing love into your life with this energy. You have the World, the Two of Cups, and the Knight of Pentacles here. For some of you, could be been in like a long distance situation, and it was just like things were moving forward too slowly, and that's what ended things in the past. For others, I feel like something had to come to an end for something to work out. And the World is a card of completion here, but the World can be a painful ending, Aquarius. The World represents birth. It represents she is going through this portal in the middle of the card here, and it does represent like a challenging kind of transition. I love the World card, don't get me wrong, but it can represent something that maybe is a little painful, or maybe you're just kind of like entering into a new energy. It's like when a baby is born, right, and it leaves its mother, it is entering into a totally different world, a totally different energy, in a lot of ways. So I kind of feel that there's like a little bit of that, I feel like saying the words culture shock, although I don't think that's the word that I want to use here, Aquarius. So regardless of what situation it is that you're going through here, it could be a love situation. It could also be a business or work or a world situation. I feel like you're going through this shock, and that's really what I'm getting here in this first row. You're going through the shock of going from like one world to another world. But I feel like it didn't happen, which is so weird. I'm not going to lie, Aquarius. I feel like this middle row is kind of like saying the shock didn't happen. It's almost like you were living it in your head with that round and round card. So I'm getting a million stories here. I'm trying to focus this reading just so you don't get confused, Aquarius, because some of you, I'm not calling you out here, Aquarius, but I feel like some of you already are a little bit confused here about what to do. in a situation with that round around card, I feel like it's been a burden, like making a decision. But I feel for some of you, it's like maybe you wanted to move, but maybe you kind of created this kind of like shock energy that I'm getting here in your head, where it's like you created a bunch of stories, or you were worried about something, like something happening. Same thing in love as well. But let's dig into this a little bit more so I can figure this out. Ten of Swords, something didn't happen. Like I said, difficult ending, painful ending, for sure. You have the Queen of Cups here and the Four of Pentacles, still holding on to something that you see as very special to you. Queen of Cups is a very kind, caring, nurturing energy. But as I always say, she is looking at that. It's almost like she's holding a trophy there in her hands, and she's looking at it she's looking at it as something that she really desires, that she really wants to have. So for some of you, it's almost like you could still be holding on to like a dream, a wish, a goal, a person here with this energy. But things were too slow. Yeah, Five of Cups, there was a disappointment. This is like one big disappointment energy right here. And again, I feel the best way I could sum up this row is culture shock. Even though, again, I don't think that's the right words to be using. I feel like it's just the difference in energy, where it's like you have been living in a certain energy, and whatever it is that you saw as your goal, wish, dream, or person is just a different energy. It would have required you to go through this birthing process, where it's like you would have been leaving your mother, right? As a baby, even though, not literally, but I'm speaking more figuratively. And it's almost like somebody, it could be you, but again, take this reading how it resonates. This is a crazy ass reading here, Aquarius, but it's like I'm getting that feeling of leaving the energy. It could be the other person as well, if you're dealing with a person that just like wasn't ready for that, different vibration, that just wasn't ready to be in that energy, is what I'd say to you. You have this round around card. I feel like this is something you think about a lot. And again, it doesn't matter which end of the situation you're on here, Aquarius, whether you're the person, whether you're a person that didn't go through with something like a relationship or a business idea or whatever, or if it was someone else who decided to end things. Because I do feel for some of you this is an ending. For some of you, I feel like it's something you're thinking about ending as well. So again, like I said, take it how it resonates. And I feel this is something that weighs heavily on your mind, for sure. I feel like it's something that has created a lot of burdens, as well, has created like a lot of heavy weights in your life with that Ten of Wands. You have the Four of Swords, the Devil, and the Ace of Swords here. It's like something has to be cut out of your life, for you to be able to have something great here, Aquarius, is what I would say to you. It's like, in a lot of ways, I feel like I'm overcomplicating this reading as always. I feel like this reading is saying that it's like there's something that you truly desire to have, and it's like there's going to be things that you have to cut out with the Ace of Swords. Ace of Swords can represent a sacrifice that you need to make, but it's like you really want this thing over here. And it's like where you are is maybe like down here. And again, I feel like you want to be over here. For example, Aquarius, if I could eat pizza every single day of my life, I would love that. My mouth is watering right now just thinking about pizza, right? But it's like, if I do that, I'm not going to be very healthy, especially around here. Pizza sucks where I live. Terrible, right? So, I'm not going to be very healthy if I eat pizza every single day. And, people always comment and say, you can make pizza out of cauliflower and all that. That's not pizza, okay? Number one. So let's get one thing straight. I'm talking about real pizza. I'm not talking about fake pizza, okay? So, it's like, but I want to be healthy. So it's like, that's over here. So it's like, I have to leave my love of pizza, right? I have to leave that behind so I can have something greater over here. And that's kind of like the energy that I'm getting here. My analogies always have to do with food because pizza is great, right? But, that's what I'm getting here in this middle row is it's like you still kind of want this thing over here, but it's like you also want to be over here at the same time. For some of you, it's like maybe you're in a relationship that sucks, and it's like maybe you have another person who's great, and it's like you're saying, I have to make this sacrifice to have this thing over here, have a person. Same thing with like a job, and what I would say the sacrifice here is time. Or maybe you're thinking about starting a business. Maybe you're like, I have a job right now. It pays pretty well, but I also see that I want to start this business that could also pay pretty well, probably better, but I'm going to have to sacrifice a bunch of time. So it's like, that's like the difference. That's the round and around thinking that I'm getting here in this row. So let's see. I have no clue what I'm talking about. So let's see where this is going. You have the King of Wands here. Divine counterparts, King and Queen of Wands here. You have the Two of Cups. Something is a perfect match for you here. Two of Cups twice here, Aquarius, and the Five of Swords. The Five of Swords is just you walking away from something here. It's almost like you could be looking at something as like there's no way to win. No matter what choice that you're looking at is, I think that would be a big mistake for you, Aquarius, is looking at something as being lose-lose. I do feel there is like a win-win type situation that you could be creating here in your life. I feel like you need to move towards your joy and happiness. Something is going to require you to be bold and assertive as well with the Queen of Wands. You know, she is like wholehearted energy. She really gives something everything she's got. It's almost like I see two sides, right? Where it's like things are perfectly balanced, like this. And I'm not saying, you know, again, this is a little bit of a challenging reading. I'm not gonna lie, the messages I'm getting are bonkers, right? But it's almost like things aren't balanced in your life, although it's like you're keeping things in balance, and it's kind of like a little bit of a contradictory energy I'm getting here. But it's almost like you're settling, right? It's like you're settling for something here, and I feel like that would be a big mistake. And it's almost like you're seeing a sacrifice as something bad, right? As being a lose-lose. But actually, I feel like it would tilt your scales in like one way or the other. So it would tilt the scales, but it would tilt the scales in your favor here, Aquarius. It's almost like you're kind of sitting on a fence here, and I feel like you need to go for one thing or the other here, whatever choice you're trying to make here in this reading. So, yeah, that's what I get there. If you're still watching this, and if I haven't lost you yet, please feel free to drop a like on this video. Really appreciate the support, Aquarius. In your next row, you have the Ten of Wands. Again, whatever has been weighing heavily on your mind, I feel like it's like kind of creating a lot of burdens in your life. I feel like, and again, I think that's the problem here, is this is the reason why you need to make a decision, because if you don't make a decision, I feel like it's just going to it's just going to cause more problems here. It's almost like you need to make sure that something doesn't become a monster, right? You know, I always say, you know, there are plenty of like really wise people that say things like if you take your bills and you don't pay them, they eventually become bigger and bigger and bigger, right? And I don't think this is talking about bills. I think it's talking about something else in your life, but it's almost like if you don't deal with something, it's going to become a bigger and bigger monster in your life. You have the King of Wands, Six of Wands, and Ten of Cups. I mean, you are going to be happy. Which is the funny thing about this reading. There is like extreme happiness. You know, Ten of Cups is fortune after difficulty, but it's going to be on the back of making this choice. For some of you, you're making a choice between two people. I see it very clearly in my head. Here, it could be a person you're married to, and another person. Again, it could take it how it resonates. It could be the other person that's making this decision, but I feel like you're going to be very happy. For others, this is you kind of like stepping up into an energy, but you are making a sacrifice, whether it's time, pizza. Time, pizza, you know, hanging out with friends, something. It's like you're making a sacrifice for something so much better in your life here. Something that's going to really be extremely fulfilling is what I'm getting here, Aquarius. So I actually like this reading for you quite a bit. Even though it is kind of like a little bit of an intense energy, I still feel like this is going to be a good thing for you. The King of Wands, you know, I do feel this could be a person that you're dealing with here, the King of Wands and the Queen of Wands, like divine counterparts. I also feel going from the Queen to the King is kind of like saying you're bossing up by making this change. Yeah, you have the Hangman here as well. You have the King of Cups, and you have the Tower here as well. Very weird reading. You have the King and Queen of Cups here as well, divine counterparts as well. So again, like I said, I feel maybe that's why there's confusion as well. It's like you're dealing with, you know, for some of you, this is like you dealing with like a karmic and a you know, true soulmate or whatever the hell you want to call it. I think those titles are BS, just so you know, here, Aquarius. But, you know, I'm just trying to explain what I'm feeling here. It's almost like you're dealing with a person who's like kind of just someone you were meant to learn lessons from, and a person who's your true love. I feel like one person's boring, one person's exciting. King of Wands, Queen of Wands, much more sexy, much more exciting. Queen of Cups, King of Cups, I feel like I have to do it. You know, is what I feel like saying. So I don't like it. Feels more like an obligation between those two, which is gross. So I would get away from anything that feels like an obligation. Doesn't even have to be a person. Like I said, this could just be a situation that you're in that feels like an obligation. You know, excitement is the name of the game right now. And I also feel like joy and happiness. King and Queen of Wands not only represents excitement, passion, seduction, boldness, really going for something, but it's an energy of being very happy, being joyful. Queen and King of Cups is good, but I just feel like the King of Cups, if this is a person, I feel like deep down inside, they're like, like festering energy. They could be a swamp on the inside, right? It's like on the outside, he seems calm, cool, and collected. But I feel like he has his moments where he is like a volcano, where he just explodes. This person here is much better. So if you're dealing with a person. For others, same thing in work as well. It's like I feel like you're in work or business, if you're thinking about making a change, it's like something is just more temperamental. Something is maybe you have a job that's seasonal. Maybe you have a job that depends on the seasons, right? There are plenty of jobs out there where it's like maybe at different times of year you make more money, and that can be temperamental. That can be very difficult. This is much nicer energy that I'm getting here. Again, this choice right here. I mean, look at this choice. It's much, much better. Even this choice, you do have the 10 of Cups here, but you also have the Tower. It's like this is something that I feel like is going to crumble in the first place here. If you choose to go with the toxic energy here or something that doesn't make you happy. I feel like this way is something that makes you much more happy. So that's what I have for you, Aquarius. Pretty simple reading. I hope it makes sense. Probably not, but definitely let me know down below. I'm going to pull 3 yes or no question cards, so feel free to pause this video. We're going to do 1, 2, and 3. If you don't have a question, I am going to answer these all together, but 1, 2, and 3. For question number 1, I would say yes, Queen of Cups. I feel like a very kind, caring, nurturing energy. I also feel like your intuition is telling you to do something here, Aquarius, and I feel like you need to do it. Like you're having dreams about something I'm getting, so that's what I'd say there. For question number 2, yes, I feel like this whole entire reading is saying follow your bliss. The biggest mistake you can make is not following your joy, not following your bliss. That's what this reading is saying here, Aquarius. I keep getting the word mistake or big mistake popping into my head. So I'm probably going to title this reading something about a big mistake because I feel like it would be a mistake for you to kind of it's so weird because I don't want to babble on about this. I apologize, but it's like with this 5 of Swords, it's like I'm getting the difference between 2 sacrifices here. It's like it's almost like saying that it's like you're gonna have to make a sacrifice, but it's almost like there's 2 sacrifices that you're making, right? And it's like not making one and sacrificing the other is going to make you miserable. So again, I would make this choice. Make the choice that brings you happiness. It's like, yes, you're going to have to sacrifice something to eventually get that. And for some of you, it's time, right? It's like, if you're building a business, for example, it's like, yeah, maybe it's going to be 5 years of not being able to party, not being able to have a good time with friends. But it's like, trust me, sacrifice those 5 years now because you'll be able to live the rest of your life like nobody else can, right? Just sacrificing like 5 years. Maybe it is 5 years. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's a year. Maybe it's nothing, right? So, that's what I'd say here. Same thing in love as well. It's like I do see that some of you might be in a family situation, but I feel like you're not happy in that situation. Something else makes you much more happy, like a different person or someone else. Or, again, some of you could just be dating, like I said here, and maybe you just need to leave a family situation behind because it's not right for you. And it's like making that sacrifice is going to lead to so much more happiness. And you cannot make this stuff up. 5 of Swords, are you kidding me? Like I was saying right there. So no, number 1 on question number 3, but number 2, I feel like this could be the sacrifice. Again, when I read these cards, I go in this direction. 5 of Swords, walking away from something. Knight of Wands, moving towards your joy, happiness, your desires. He is the card of desire. To the Queen of Cups, getting everything you want. As I said, she is like holding a trophy in her hands. It looks like a trophy, not a cup. So it's like you will have everything you desire if you do this. This is amazing reading here. This is a pretty crazy reading, I'm not going to lie, but pretty intense energy as well. But I feel like it's a good thing. So thank you for watching, Aquarius. Really appreciate it. Make sure to watch your sun, moon, and rising for a full picture of what's going on for you at this time. Also, feel free to like and subscribe. Really appreciate the support. But thank you, Aquarius, and definitely enjoy your week.